Hello, everybody. Welcome to Touch Base Live. I am your host, Touch Base, and I'm here on this delightfully not as cold as it has been Sunday. I've been not streaming as much as I would like to because I've been working on Sundays. But I'm back here. I'm so excited to share this couple of hours with you guys because I have my whole setup here ready to go. I've got some fun news to share with you. I'm really excited to sit down and make some music, some techno on stream here tonight. I want to show you my setup here. So first I have my normal trifecta, as I've dubbed it. And this is just my SP, my drum machine, my S1, and you can see other stuff, my little mixer that makes everything possible to go through into my SP. That's camera setup 1. Camera setup 2 is my Micro Freak, my JX08, and my Arturia Keystep Pro, which controls everything, including my S1, and it can sync everything as well. So this is a really powerful tool for me to arrange everything. And I also have my DJ kit set up here if I want to do some DJing on stream, which I actually might end up doing, just to get in the mood for making tracks. I can do that. So I tested that earlier, so I might be doing some DJing on stream too. So an exciting stream ahead for us today. So I got some news. First of all, I started working at Public Records, which is a local venue here in Brooklyn, New York. And I started at Coat Check. Now I'm doing floor monitor. So that's been a really fun thing. It's my first proper nightlife job outside of like bars and basement parties in college when I was a DJ, which was a very long time ago. But now I'm back properly working in nightlife, and that's really cool. Meeting a lot of new people, meeting DJs. I definitely plan on DJing there at some point and making my way into that. For now, I'm just kind of in the mode of selecting a lot of music. It's been really fun. I think the most fun part of being a DJ, honestly, is selecting music and what that process does, because I think as an artist, it's really so crucial to develop the sense of what your taste is and who you are as an artist and how you want to present yourself and what kind of influences you draw in order to do that in a way that makes sense and is like, gives you that confidence. And, knowing what you like is so key to being a good artist, I think, period. And when you're a DJ, that process is so straightforward because you're just going through lists of music. You're trying to find where you can find lists of music, and find good sources of music, and the myriad ways you can get into that, and which is, confusing. That's a process in and of itself. And the people you have to meet and, the people you want to follow to make that process easier and get you closer to better music faster. That whole process is a really cool part of this whole scene and music in general and getting into music. I think so much of what musicians today get really lost about when making music is, and this is a byproduct, I think, of just the age we're in, of, being in, like alienated from one another, being more online than we do things in real life, and, sort of the pressure that it creates socially online, and, sort of forces people to be, different in public and different, and it's kind of broken apart communities over the years. And I think what's amazing about this music and any music scene is, I think, it's always better to do things in person. It's always better to meet people and, contribute to a scene and talk to people and be yourself and find yourself through that. Too many artists today are just like islands and they just want to be this like ascendant genius online and go viral and just make this work that's going to blow everyone away and draw everyone to you. And I don't, if sure there are people who are that good and that you're going to blow up, or it seems like that, but most of the time I think it's about connecting to people in a genuine way, and not just for the sake of connecting with people and socially, but like, the more people care, the more they're going to be good at what they do. And, you're going to be able to work with people and want to work with people who take it seriously, who take music seriously, who take booking shows and DJing and selecting music and making music seriously. And you have to resist, I think, the temptation to do a lot of things online and to look at it as a thing that you want to only do online. They always put the emphasis on that, and I think that that's not important or as important, or it's overemphasized. Obviously, I'm doing a live stream, so there's that contradiction. But I do this because I really enjoy it. It's really fun for me to share my creative process. I feel like in the past couple of years, I've really learned a lot about creativity in general and being an artist and taking art seriously and taking music seriously. And that's the kind of stuff that I really like to talk about, and the kind of stuff that I think is important to share, because we're in the scam era. Honesty and a genuine approach to anything. It's hard to find people. It's hard to find people who are really just bringing who they are to something and not coming at it with an angle or some way they can benefit. And that kind of stuff is really obvious too, more obvious than ever maybe, right? Like, because we're in the scam era, people have their guard up against someone who feels like they're trying to glaze you or trying to just like work you for their ends. And there's nothing more refreshing than just like meeting cool people and talking to people who are just like into what you're into and take it as seriously as you do. And so I try to bring that energy here on the stream, give a window into my creative process, because I think that should be the emphasis of what we talk about and stuff, not just how to make it. I hate make it energy. I like how to make the thing. I like that energy, but how to be successful, I'm less interested in that. Everyone's after that. That's like every thing you see on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok is just like how to, how do you get passive there's this thing like AI vocal tools. Like, how do you produce stuff? I hate this shit. I'm so fucking over it. What I really am interested in is the creative process and what it takes to be a good artist, and what it takes to make music that you are proud of, that I'm proud of personally, that I want to share with people. Getting to a point where I'm confident in what I do, that I want to share it with people, and that I continuously want to get better and tweak stuff and share that process, because I think that that's the most fun part of this whole thing. It's not about making it or being successful. I mean, of course, everyone, you take it seriously enough, yeah, you do want to have success with it, and there's no use in denying that. Not everyone. There are some people who just genuinely care about the art, and that's really cool. But I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting success, but the focus of that, focusing only on success, is going to be a recipe for not just failure, but just to be a not genuine person, and you're not bringing your real self to something. So for me, this is all I care about: making music, the process of making music. And the things I find interesting about it, and the sort of struggles and the challenges and overcoming them, that's fun. That's all fun for me. Not dialing something in on a text prompt and hoping that brings me more followers. That's bullshit. So with that, let's talk about music. Let's talk about music making. So I have been listening to so much music. I have been selecting tons and tons of music, and like I said, I've gone on this major tangent, and I feel like I started here and I got off topic, but it's really cool to select music. It's really cool to build your sound and cultivate your style and sense of what you like. I still can't really describe what it is that unites the music that I select. I try not to think of it too conceptually. I really just play songs and I go, do I love this or do I not love this? And then the why is less important to me. I'm more concerned with just like hearing something that that fills my soul, that makes me excited and want to play it and want to show. I feel like chasing that feeling of like, oh, I want to show somebody this. Oh, this is so good. Oh, I can't wait to play this because you're going to flip when you hear this. There's something about that is really, really exciting about it's like the essence of DJing, really, it's like chasing that feeling of wanting to share music with people, and, the confidence of if it's the right crowd, they're going to love this. And that's the magic of the whole thing. And so in that process, I've been cultivating a playlist of songs. I'm coming out with a mix this week, I think, a techno mix and a house mix. I have 2 mixes that are like about an hour that I think are pretty good and I'm going to record. And I've been working really, really hard on them. Like, I over scrutinize like crazy, like classically, like a lot of creative people. And especially when I'm creating mixes, I feel like every time I do a mix, or I go see a DJ, which is constantly now, you notice more things. I mean, like you spend more time going out in the scene and seeing DJs, and every single time there's something you notice you could do. And, I'm always comparing that to my last mix. I'm like, I got to do something better. So the next couple mixes I'm going to put out, I feel very, very good about. Tonight I am concerned with techno. I'm concerned with techno. That sounds like I'm like scared of techno or like worried about it. I am interested in making techno tonight. I've been looking for tracks and I'm building a set. So for me, I like to blend genres a lot, and I realize that there's like house world and techno world. And there's like, there's an overlap, but if you're going to do techno, like sort of more harsh, less melodic, more mechanical, industrial, computery sounding, more dissonant, more sort of driving percussion and like, sparse arrangements. But I mean, a lot of these have sparse arrangements, so that's really doesn't just apply to techno. So I'm selecting a lot of techno tracks. I blend them with like bass tracks and club tracks to create, a flow of different genres and different styles. And I really try to get that all to make sense. And that to me is like the challenge of DJing for, is creating that journey and blending different styles so that the audience is wondering what's going to come next, and you're playing with their expectation and doing that in a way that gives them something that they never knew that they wanted. You hear a track and you're like, I've never heard this, I never knew I would like this, but now this is my favorite thing ever. And I think that is when you're doing that to the crowd, you're doing the right thing as a DJ. So I'm looking for techno tracks. You take people on a journey. You have low energy tracks and you have higher energy tracks. And with techno, with the kind of techno that I like, okay, I don't select a lot of like hard techno. It's just not my style necessarily. I like it. I like to listen to it, and I like when DJs play it. And I think there's so many really good hard techno DJs. I'd like to see more, to be honest. As I'm saying this, and I'm like, I should really go see like a solid hard techno DJ, just like crush it for a while. I select a lot of deep techno tracks, like a lot of raw deep techno, hypnotic, that flavor, and some peak time as well. But I'm finding it hard to find this kind of track. And this is the thing about selecting. It's just, it's a journey, a years and years long journey of digging and finding. I'm really having a hard time finding a kind of track that is deep and raw, has a teeny bit of melody, and but still drives really hard like techno, and I want it to. So basically, I'm trying to create something that I'm having a hard time finding, which I think is a really cool starting point for creating a song, because it's not just making a type beat. It's not just like taking elements like I usually do and trying to like do my own thing with elements. I mean, I'm gonna do that, but I think this has a little more open-ended starting point for me, where I can say, okay, I don't know what the final product is going to be, but I have an idea of where I want it to, how I want it to feel, what I want it to do, sort of maybe emotionally, or maybe in a mood, like a mood way, in an atmospheric way. And there's a million different ways on techno and like electronic music. It's all in the details. Like in all electronic music, it's all in the details and how you select and play with those details and those conventions. So, yeah, it has to be like a hard-hitting kind of techno track, but not too hard. It's got to still be deep, and it's got to be like a peak song, right? Or it's got to be not like in peak techno in that way, but I want it to be like a song that's high energy that I build to, because I feel like I have a lot of techno tracks that are like middling energy, or like not quite. I want it to be not a flashy hard techno song, not not these like really dramatic peak techno song. I just want it to fit in this perfect little zone of just being like, yeah, it's a high energy song, but it's not cheesy. It doesn't have that super hard kick that is just like too. I don't always really like that poundy techno kick that's like really high, has a lot of like high frequencies, and it's not necessarily. So anyway, I'm going to try to figure that out. I'm going to try to figure out this perfect techno track with all of my devices here that I've got laid out. The other thing I want to do is like, going back to like creative process, I want to like talk about and go through my sort of workflow, pre-creation workflow that I think is really important. And I sort of do it in my trifecta video. And I want to kind of bring attention to it again, because I think it's, especially if you're like me and you have ADHD and have a hard time focusing, and especially with all of these different devices. I mean, getting lost is the easiest thing, right? Staying focused, staying on task, harder for someone with ADHD. And so therefore, it's really important to have a good workflow. And a good way to have a workflow is to sort of like clear the space, physically get it ready. Clear your head, because it's so easy to keep bullshit that's tossing around inside your head, and let it interfere with your creative process. So it's important to clear your head. Then setting intention, I think, is really clear. So I did that already by kind of talking about what I wanted to make and what I'm interested in making. And then setting intention with listening to music. I really like to listen to what I'm about to make, or try to get an approximation, or even just kind of listen, and it doesn't have to be, I may not even listen to some techno tracks. I feel like what I want to do now is mix a little bit of my mix here. So let me see. I'm going to open Rekordbox. Hopefully this doesn't crash my computer. It was working before, so I think we should be okay. But so I want to mix. Let me close Chrome too. Save my RAM here. Really putting my MacBook, 13-inch MacBook, to the absolute test here. By the way, you don't need fancy switching equipment to stream. I just want to make that very clear. You just need a bunch of webcams and the know-how in OBS. That's it. Don't buy a switcher. Waste of money. And this little iRig Stream Pro, this thing slaps. I can't recommend this enough for streaming. Like, I've tried so many different arrangements, and they don't work the same way. They don't work as well as the iRig Stream Pro. So I really like this like RCA. My mic is going in here. My SP goes in here. It's my sound device for my machine. Works perfectly. All right, so I've got OBS booted up here. Booting up here. 1 second. Really pushing the limits of this computer completely. And once I open it up, I'm gonna like do a little mix. I've never done that on stream, so I'm excited to do this. I think mixing on stream is like a fun thing to show you here. And I can show you my dorky playlist names. No, I maybe won't do that. I name things that I end up regretting naming them. Not that they're like offensive or anything. They just sort of just like that's not what that is, and I don't want to like. I want to think about names more seriously. Anyway, DJ mode. Here we are. Look at that. We've got record box set up here. Let me make sure that the output device is set to the iRig Stream Pro and not from my DDJ 400 as the default. And then I should just be able to like mix for you guys. Oh, I have to change the camera. Here, hold on. If I do this, yeah, there it is. How's that? Looks great. You can totally see everything as I DJ right there, so clearly. I'm gonna fix this angle a little bit, but it should work. See, this is a fun thing about streaming. It doesn't fucking matter, you know? Alright, that's gonna be... Actually, I think I can change the angle here too. Oh man, we are looking choppy on this stream now. I think it's worth it for DJ mode though. Let me just get this angle here a little wider, and then it'll be cool. So I'm going to listen to some tracks. I want to get in the mood for making tracks by mixing these tracks and sort of feeling the energy of them. And then I'll sort of like describe what I'm after, and I'll try to conjure something that, and maybe you'll see what my problem is here. Because I think it's kind of clear. There's only so many techno tracks that hit hard, deep techno tracks that hit hard, you know, that are like a 5 rating level for me. And a 5 rating level for me, oh, anchor work is just not having it. Okay, here we go. I can't change the angle on this. Yeah, I'm putting my computer to some crazy work here. It doesn't want to do this. All right. All right. You get one platter for now. I think that's good. All right, so let's start off doing some mixing here. This first track, and I promise I won't talk as I mix. Or should I start here? No, let me go a little deeper. I'll start it off on a less weird note. And I may show up at, you may see me do this mix. If you see me at Open Decks on Silo, you may see me do this. Because I really like this mix and I think it sounds dope. So let's start with the song Dopamine Rush by Chlar. Really like Chlar. I have 2 Chlar tracks here, and I'm going to mix them into each other. here goes. I think. So good. God, this angle sucks. Oh yeah. I'll let this build. Probably mix at the end. Love this. Love this groove. It's deep. Feeling it, but I'm going to switch it up in a second. I'm just gonna cut it there like an asshole. Wow. So, all right. Let me break down that little mix and like a few things about it. So, you notice the first part of that techno. Second, and then I go into UK sound, into some bass slash club, some Addison Groove. Sorry, not Grove. Addison Groove is awesome. Like some really killer tracks. This one I love. So I feel like the Do It Now track, it's so good. It's such a good transitional track that can take me from techno to something else. But you can see where my need for a techno track that kind of like hits harder, more like the Do It Now, more like the Eloquent tracks. I know it's a different genre, but I want a techno track that does the same thing in the set, where it's like this is like the banger that's gonna hit. You're leading up to this track. Now there's this other really good track that I'll play that sort of does that, but it doesn't hit the same way. It doesn't hit hard. This track is so good. I'll just play it on its own. I'm just gonna play it. I'm just gonna play it. Oh no. I checked my stream and it looks like the image. It looks like the stream itself froze. Goodness. Interesting. Not sure how to fix this. I'm gonna close Rekordbox because Rekordbox, I think, messed my stream up significantly. You can hear what I say though. It's also like crazy delayed, I think. It's like minutes behind from where it was. Interesting. This is why we check, right? I knew I was. This is my Promethean curse. Or my Prometheus isn't right. This is my whatchamacallit. This is what's the Greek myth? Cut it there like an asshole. Wow. Flying too close to the sun. This is my I'm forgetting the name. This is embarrassing, but yeah, I flew too close to the sun here, and now my stream. A few things about it. So. Okay, so it seems like when I stop playing Rekordbox, the video comes back in. A little bit. It gets. All right, so you gotta live and learn, man. You gotta live and learn. All right, so you heard the music anyhow, and I'm gonna talk about that. And I think this stream is gonna. I think that we'll be able to make visual, come back normally. So, all right, let me talk about what I did, what I want to do, where I'm at, how I want to approach making these tracks. Let's get our keyboard back into view. Our Keystep Pro back into view. Look at that. Isn't she beautiful? All right, so future reference. I need to get a real controller, or I need to get a standalone guy and a real, like, I can't do it all on my laptop. It's just gonna crash the thing. But this is what we do. This is how we learn. All right, so I have that techno track, those techno tracks that I'm into. I want them to bump more like the club bass tracks and more like the sort of UK sound tracks that I have that I'm mixing with. I want to have a techno track that we can build toward. Where it doesn't feel like we're just sort of like a groove in between. I don't want to ever just have like a just techno set. I want the techno to be, and I don't want the techno to just feel like it's the midpoint in between peaks that are not techno, energy wise. I want to have a techno track that is like the thing that we're building to among the techno tracks. And so with that, I'm really eager to make this track right here on stream right now. Look at that. Okay. I pushed this computer to the absolute limit. It does not want to work with me anymore. The cameras are all like resetting and stuff. But I'm really excited to make this track for you guys because I think this is going to be like a really cool exercise and just like the creative process in general. All right, let's see if I can fix these cameras. God willing. There we go. There we go. All right, that's more respectable. Ooh. All right, so let's get started. First of all, check out this little idea I got. Ready? Not ready. Oh, you know what else? So I can use, let's talk about some MIDI routing, which I know that if you're, if you like my channel, if you're into what I do here, it's probably in part because you think that you're interested in my setup here, and this setup is a culmination of a lot of effort and time and a workflow that I've spent a year and some change developing here. And it is tricky because these when it comes to MIDI, devices don't always work well with each other. In fact, they very often kind of screw each other up a lot. And so woo, I wonder what that sound is. Atrocious. So what's cool though is I can use my SP to be my main clock. My SP starts and stops the clock, pushes out to my Arturia Keystep Pro, and my Arturia Keystep Pro can arrange for this for my S1 as well. And my JX is bitimbral. And so because it is bitimbral, that means I can use two of these channels to control two separate patches on the JX at once. So it's like two synths in one, which is what I really love about the JX. And makes it so useful in these like live Dawless situations. And because I just love the sound of it, it's great to have two different sounds at the same time of something you really like. So that's awesome. All right, I've got this little yeah, so that's a little idea I'm working on. Really dig that. Really enjoy that. Uh, you know, I love how this whole setup works. It's so cool. I want to build something from scratch right now. I'm so inspired to use everything right now and create something new. So let's go to a pattern. And one of these that I think is not good anymore. I'm going to clear Hypest. I don't think Hypest is good. I'm not even going to play it because it's embarrassing. Kit. Let me go to a different kit. I'm going to pick maybe one of the kits that I've made. I've made a bunch of kits here, as you can see. Techno 1? I mean, Techno 1 better be good if it's the first, if it's Actually, you know, I could just start with something I've been working on already that sounds kind of cool. I kind of dig that. Here's the thing. Let me turn off the synth here. Man, that's cool. So I kind of crafted that, been crafting that over a couple days. I wonder if I can use the rest of these to make that more interesting. All right, so let's conceptualize. Let's talk. Let's think out loud for a moment here. So like I said, I want it to be a little melodic. I like, so that last thing that I'm working on, I really like this sort of stabby, dreamy pad that sort of it's like introspective a little bit. Now with this one, that just drives. Okay, this one is going to be the hitter that we're all going to build to. This is why drum machines are great, because you can just play with the levels, you can play with the arrangement. You know, do I wish I had more tracks sometimes? I do. But I also really like to keep the arrangement sparse and minimal. I feel like it's a good... one of the clearest examples of like limitations being useful is forcing yourself to make the most out of 6 tracks for percussion, and really dedicating those tracks to percussion specifically and saying, okay, I'm going to do the most I can with the least, you know, with only 6 tracks. Because again, you know, it's easy to get lost in the details, not just in the details, but it's easy to get lost in possibility. And I think that's the thing that people like about Dawless versus DAWs, is it sort of restricts you in ways that keep you focused. And even more so with this drum machine versus the, you know, the bigger brother, the TR-8S, which is a, you know, fantastic device. I like being forced to make what I need to make with 6 tracks. It lends itself to cleaner productions that are, you know, you're not adding stuff for the sake of adding it. I feel like when I'm using the TR-8S, it has like 11 channels. I use like 8 tops, you know, like I only ever need 2 more than this, and I can always loop it and sequence it in the SP if I need to. So, I mean, there's a minor inconvenience there, especially with kits, you know, building drum kits. But all in all, it's really good to have this thing and be forced to be minimal. So that drives, right? What can I do? What can I even do to make that better? Let's play around with our instruments here. All right, so So all right, let's just talk it through. There's so much going on in the low end. So the idea of adding a bass there makes no sense. I can't add a bass there because there's not room for it. I have this gigantic kick here that I have layered. So 2 of these channels are already taken up by a kick, right? Here's my sort of, transient layer. The transient, is the peak of the volume, the attack part of the envelope, I guess, of the sound you're using. That's my transient there. Here's the beef, here's the protein. And together they sound devastating. I mean, that's I can just see that waveform being just this big giant fat kick, which I really love. And now that tom kind of functions as a bass. It's playing off the kick, and that just gives us most of our low end, right? It's like, I honestly like to get, the stream is about just being real and about showing the unglamorous parts of creativity. And I'm kind of stuck. Is this trance thing going to work with it? I don't know. This is going to be the preset. I really like, okay, so, and just like thinking conceptually too, this is a mono synth, the Arturia Micro Freak. Let's talk about the Micro Freak. Arturia Micro Freak, great little synth, very inexpensive, $350 relatively speaking for synthesizers. Not a lot of money for a synth, especially considering the kinds of sounds that it gives you, the range of sounds you can play with. But it's a mono synth, meaning not stereo, mono, one channel. Now, that should not stop you from purchasing it, I think. You shouldn't not buy mono synths because they're just mono. Mono synths serve a purpose because there are things in our mix that are mono or that can effectively be mono. Basses and leads are 2 of those things. And this also has keys on it, and if you can make these things stereo if you want. You bring it into Reason or whatever, probably Ableton for most people because hardly anyone uses Reason. But for me, I bring it into Reason. I can add stereo widening tool. Actually, Reason just came out with a good stereo widening tool, which is really cool. Very easy to use. And you can widen stuff and make them stereo if you want to. However, I like to lean into the mono-ness of the Micro Freak. That's a cool lead. It's like I'm playing the lead like keys, so. Why not, right? Ah, that's so cool. just mess around with that. And just a quick note, a little music theory. Why not? I'm not a big knower of music theory by any especially given how much people can know about it. I fucking don't know a lot, so do not consider me major theory guy at all. However, I know just enough to like use it to make music and use it effectively to make music. Which is all I think anyone really needs to know anyway. If you want to be a good musician, you don't have to be like a theory wizard. You just have to know sort of basic things. And a basic thing that I understand about theory that I use in my music a lot is seventh chords. This is a minor seventh chord. I think that's a minor triad. Minor seventh. There's a flat 7. So I just know that I like to play around with seventh chords. That's a thing that I've discovered about music that I like, ways that I like to write, is that I enjoy the sound of seventh chords. It's a very small sort of thing, but it's an effective tool for me to pull from when I don't know where to start. I often start from a seventh chord. I often like it, and then I'll play around with this sort of changes. I'll pick one chord that I like. I say, "Ooh, this chord makes me feel nice." Maybe it'll take me a little while to even get to that chord. I'll play around, and probably the fact that I'm on stream is preventing me from, on some level, like messing around too much out of my desire to like be entertaining, which I'm sure affects the creative process in ways, interesting ways too. It sort of puts pressure on me in a way that I think is cool, actually. And nothing's easier than just mashing the white keys, right? I mean, it's kind of cool. It adds this, like, I mean, it's just such a unique texture. And the Micro Freak has a lot of freaky sounds on here, which makes it difficult to use sometimes and work into tracks where I'm like, what would I use this for? But I've heard this lead so many times, and like, I want to use it, but I don't know where. Maybe here. All right, so I like that general pattern. It repeats in a way that I can't do naturally on here because I can only do 64 steps, and that is a 128 step loop. With that bam, bam, bam. So I think what I'm gonna do, instead of sequencing it here on my key step, I can take that. And again, this just gives me more opportunities to layer. I'm going to take that. I'm going to take this sound that I'm making out of my Micro Freak. I'm going to record it into my SP, and I'm going to layer it to my SP, which allows me to sequence that one part. It also frees up my Micro Freak to be sequenced again live for something else that I can turn the knobs on if I want to, which gives me the ability to sequence something live meaningfully so that I can affect it meaningfully, and so that my playing with the knobs will create a live energy and change the sound in real time. I think that's the important thing about Dawless. All right, let me talk a little philosophy. I'm just gonna talk on stream, baby. This is you wanna hang out on stream, listen to me talk. I think it's important when you're making Dawless music, or when especially when you're performing it, and I want to do more of that as I get comfortable with this stuff. I want to do more performing. The question is why? Okay, why are you performing it live? There's something really lame to me about just doing just showing. How do I say this? There's something really lame to me about taking something that could otherwise just be played in a track and then performing it just in a way that's like, oh, look, I can do this. Anyone can take a song and like sort of chop it up and put it in pads, and then you can sort of hit the pads on beat. But what does you hitting the pads on beat add to the thing? It shouldn't just be theoretical. It shouldn't just be like, well, you're doing it live, and that's cool. That's not enough for me. I don't think that that's cool. I don't think that's very interesting. I think it's kind of like show-offy, and like, it's like more about you doing something. I mean, and it's cool. It's not that it's like on the right path, but it's not far enough. The question you should answer is like, why is you... The question you should ask yourself is, what are you adding? What is you performing it live adding that playing a track on its own doesn't have? That's what you should be doing when you're considering doing this stuff live. Don't just take a track, cut it up, and say, well, I mean, there is something to the fact of like you added the humanness to it. So if you're really playing it and the little, micro timings that create a better groove and a better, more human performance. If you're adding that, that's cool. But if you're just recreating a song and there's nothing really gained by the performance other than the performance itself, I don't think that's very cool. What I do think is cool is having it be unique. Having what you do live affect the song in real time so that every time you play it, it sounds different. So that the live performance is special. So that the live element of it is generating a different sound and a different performance every single time. That to me is the goal. Because why do we care otherwise? I mean, is it just like to clap for you hitting samples in a sequencer in an SP, in a MPC or whatever, and to show people you can hit buttons on time? I mean, that's fine, but the cooler thing is to affect the sound, is to have it elevate everything, to have it all be a unique new thing, not just like a sort of sleight of hand where you can take a track and perform it that way. So with that said, that massive rant out of the way, I think it's cool to take these elements and then free up the synths to turn knobs again. So I have, and I'm thinking about it that way too. Is this something that I want to affect that way? And here's another cool layer that I do. I can show you now my SP. What I like to do, what I've done here with this other thing that I'm working on. Let me go to. It's called Green Cloud, because that's just how I describe things sometimes. Let me change the effects settings so I can do this properly. Input bus dry. Okay. So here I have, I'll just do it this way. There's a million ways to trigger it, and it's not terrible. Gotta make sure I'm not triggering everything. Okay. So I have this track, Green Cloud, as you can see here. You can read here. You can hear that little thing that I sampled in from my S1. With the intention, though, of filtering it. That doesn't work. Put some reverb on it. hard to stop that, but yeah. So the idea I'm trying to illustrate there is you can take a sound here with the idea of, okay, I'm going to have this synth sound that I would want to fiddle with on the knobs here and turn that filter. However, because I want to layer it and free up maybe a synth for something else, or because the pattern length on the Arturia denies me the ability to make it a 8-bar loop instead of a 4-bar loop, I have to be clever within that and say, okay, if I still want to perform it, if I still want to turn the knob, still want to turn that filter and add that live element to it, what I need to do is sample whatever instrument with the filter all the way open, and then play with the filter on the SP and have that routed the right way. There are so many things. I'm learning how to speak better on stream here. Let me work on my grammar. There are so many things that factor into making this difficult, and you have to conceptualize a lot of it. To me, that's fun. I enjoy conceptualizing it. I like the idea. Creativity starts flowing for me when I think in that way. When I go, okay, I have these elements that I can shape, these elements that I create and then I shape and can sort of add effects to, which is really the basis of production anyway. If you want to think about it as conceptually as possible, every synth has like sound generators, envelopes, filters, and effects, right? So it's like, your oscillator is your sound generator. What tone is that going to start? How are you going to shape it after the fact? This is like subtractive synthesis, but I feel like mixing in general is sort of treated this way. You have your starting sound. How do you shape that sound? Usually with a filter and an envelope. And then how do you add effects to it? And then what way are you using that to create atmosphere, mood, energy, whatever? So, stripping things down to their bare elements and saying, okay, how can I shape this further is to me the really creative way to go about this process. And so, again, long-winded rant just to say that I'm going to sample this thing and put it back into my SP and then use that. And I'm going to sequence that much the same way that I've done with these other guys. So let's go. I have a new bank here on my SP, which you can't see because I switched it. Okay, I have a new bank here, bank D on my SP, which is totally empty. And so I'm going to start building this track out within my SP. Let's see how much I can arrange on my SP, my Micro Freak, JX. I'm going to incorporate those as well. I said I was going to go till 8, but I'm going to go till 9 because I can't stop in 40 minutes. I don't think I can stop in 40 minutes. Watch, I'm going to get to like 8 and be like, JK, I'm going to stop now because I'm hungry. I can already hear my stomach grumbling. So like maybe I'll make pizza on stream and just because I can do that. I'm not bound by conventional streaming norms. I can do whatever I want here. There are no conventional streaming norms, by the way, but I'm not bound by anything. I can make pizza on this stream if it enables me. And by make, I mean heat up in my toaster oven. I can heat up pizza and enjoy, stay on the stream. We can make it work. We're going to make it work. So let's start. Let me turn this up again. That's just such a cool sound. Like, I really just enjoy how unique and spooky. It's haunting, right? There's something haunting about that. What is it called? What is this patch called? Ether. That's cool. That's a good name for it. I think that's what I was playing, right? here's the problem. I don't actually like going up to here. It's a little. It's just like kind of. If that's our, this is like bad. Let's learn some bad theory. This is like my. I'm not even gonna attempt this because I can't even. I'm not even good enough at theory to explain the thing properly. So, this is like the first chord in the scale. Oh, you can't see what I'm doing. This is the first chord in the scale. This is E minor 7. I think. Nah, I don't like that either. I want to... I will give you pizza beats. Pizza beats are coming. I like starting here, but I want to go somewhere else. I want to have more tension in this, you know. I don't want it to just be like plunky and straightforward. Maybe I'll resample it, and the chromatic shift will be a jazzy one. Chromatically shifting chords is just a easy way to make things sound funky too. Not a lot of theory required for that. You take a chord you like, sample it, and then do the chromatic mode. Let's do that. All right, go back to my SP. Turn the metronome off because we don't need it. This BPM 140. We're totally at 140 here. Okay. We'll do count in mode wait. And then that's funny. All right, I'm gonna just take the first part of that wacky little guy. I see my hit resample to turn 0 cross snap on. If you want to learn how to do all the things with all my synths, this is the channel for you. That's cool. Cool. Turn gate mode off. Let's turn that volume down because that's loud. That's all fuck. I'm going to go to envelope and I'm going to turn the attack up just a little bit. Give it a little. Alright, and then I go to chromatic mode. Importantly, and this is another sort of theory hack for people who aren't good at theory, this is a jazzier way to play chords. I don't know how to, it would take me a million years to phrase these chords on the keyboard the right way, because again, I can't do it. I'm not good at theory. And I could, and it would sound different too, and I could probably, it's worth sampling a different chords, and I do that too sometimes, to get the different sound out of each time you play it. The more you play it live, the more each hit will be unique. Always important as a producer to add uniqueness and things that are going to keep it sounding fresh for your ear, because your ear gets tired of stuff pretty quickly. That said, chromatic mode sampling chords is a great way to get a jazzy good sound. Let's play around. there's so much fun to be had with that, right? Like, going back on what I said before, just like starting with sounds and saying, how can I mess with it and make it sound different? And what's cool about that, especially, is what happens unexpectedly. I don't want to make it seem like, having a deliberate, and I don't, it make appear that way, but it's because when I'm not doing this, I'm messing around and taking lots more time to mess around with things that often sound very bad or just like they're not there yet. You have to do that. Anything creatively, you have to like mess around, make a bunch of crap that doesn't sound good. Then you arrive at something that does sound really cool and unique, but you have to play around. I don't like getting close. Maybe I do want it to be a little more. I do like this groove. It's just chord wise. I think it's important. Let me keep ranting all day, just ranting nonstop. It's important to think about what you want to do musically, when you're writing these tracks. I think so many people trying to do electronic music lose sight of the fact that you are making music. It's music. Notes on the page matter as much here as it does in any other genre. And if you lose sight of that, you're not going to make anything that interesting, or you're losing focus on the fact that the notes and the beats combine to make the song. And you can dress it up with sounds all you want. And yes, it's about using those sounds and highlighting them in ways, using the sounds in a way that emphasizes what's interesting about them, and using the music to do that, using the notes that you're writing to do that. And that's all to say, like, there's a give and take between the minimalism of it and the musicality that you do need to input into it to make it sound interesting. And it's a very delicate touch on how you do that. So as I'm playing this, I'm like, and like, yeah, there's that sort of like, I guess like Mario Kart sound, there's like the is that like, there's that Mario Kart vibe, which is fucking sick, and I love it. I love the imagery that evokes. And it has that it's like really driving sound. And if this is a peak track though, it's like I don't want to force it into something it's not, because I like where it's going. I think there's something a little more exciting about that interval, maybe. So let me try that. All right, I'm going to sequence that. I like it for now. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's go to pattern select, record. 8-bar loop. We'll do strength 100%. Chromatic mode. I'm going to do some rehearsal. didn't like that last one. I think that's better. Although... So... Okay, that works. Is this not triggering... That is just offbeat completely. Try that again. What? Oh no, did I delete the sample? I deleted the sample instead of the SP problems. I like this chord better. Let's start with this chord. This is Happy Accidents. We love it. I'm gonna hit mark. And I can just grab it that way. I love skip back. Skip back is like one of my favorite features of the SP. I think there's something really cool about just having like, you know that your audio is always being grabbed and that you can just kind of grab it at any point. There's something really freeing about that process. Boop. Okay. Let me do envelope. It's funky. Yeah, that's cool. Turn that down because it's loud. That's cool. I dig that. I'm gonna record that. Wow. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna record that pattern. Wrong. I like that. We did it. Hooray. Wow. Yeah, I like that. It's funky. It's got some character to it, and I really enjoy that. Let's resample that because I think that'll be cool. And then add some effects to it. First thing I want to, you know, I just do it. It's so cheap. But I love throwing 303 vinyl sim, but maybe not. No, not tape echo. Cassette sim. I always love cassette sim. Kind of filters the top. Also, it's majorly distorted, so let's turn that down. That's cool. All right, and then on the second layer, maybe just some reverb, or, you know, some Juno. Oh, that's what I wanted to do. Maybe Juno chorus after that? That sounds so cool. Let's turn the noise down and maybe the chorus effect down a little bit. That just widens it. Sounds better. It just sounds more textured and crispy. Resample, boom. We love that. Let's turn that volume down significantly. And then if I do shift exchange this way, it'll just swap that out, and then that'll play in the sequence instead of the other one. All right. I don't really like that pattern anymore. I'll be honest with you. I think that is more interesting. Offbeat. That's the one thing that annoys me about the ESP. It also forces me to like perform a little better too, so I do enjoy it for that. Let me not complain. I can edit it this way too. out that well. Let's try this one more time. Do it right. You're going to sit with me until I do this right. Here we go. This is a little frustrating here. I think, let me try it this way. Do a TR rec. Okay, here we go. All right. All right, so -4 and then +3. All right, so I think this is right. I think we got this. Nice. Okay. Almost there. We did it. We sequenced it. I don't know. I don't know why performing it wasn't doing it right. Sometimes it can be a little annoying, but. Yeah. All right. Let's switch up. Let's add some more stuff. All right. You know what I'm gonna add? You know what I'm gonna add now? I'm gonna add some JX because the JX does not get the respect it deserves. I try to give it the respect it deserves, but I still need to respect it even more. That's how I feel. Because I love the JX and it's a great synth. I'll go to a new pattern here because each pattern on this thing saves 2 presets, so you have to go to new pattern. Oh, that's absolutely brutal. Why does it do that? That is the glitch of all glitches, man. All right. It's controlling another synth that I don't want it to. Okay, there we go. So, I have got so many pads, so many patches. Let's find a bass. JX has some good basses. Let's thumb through. It also just has these it just has so many good presets. This is what I love the JX. Great presets. So funny how this activates things. This doesn't have anything. Let me add, like, this is when MIDI gets absolutely outrageous. I don't know what causes everything that happens here. The key here is looking for just like a chill bass. It's like a thumpy. Some of these are just so fun. Like, I can just imagine so many different ways to use a lot of these. That's why it's fun to just like start with a patch and like let that inspire you, because it just, a patch demands that you treat it the way it wants to be treated. So like, why not start there and just let it inspire you? Finding that perfect snare. Finding that perfect synth. Do kind of like that. Does this even have a pattern? Like, why is it even doing that? It doesn't even have a pattern. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go to a new project because I don't trust. Like, I wonder if is my SP sending MIDI out? MIDI sync out. I don't need to do sequence no out though. Yeah, sequence no out is not gonna. That's okay. That was the problem. Now we can turn this back up. That's kind of cool. May not be the right tone, but I'll at least get this right down. I'll get this down. That's kind of cool. I think it's not bad. Maybe it's just that. Clear my pattern. Shift, clear pattern. I'm digging it. And it goes like this. All right. Cool. We did that with the JX. Let's go to our other part on the JX. Something arpeggiated, I feel. I mean, I just love that. That's just like, what is that? What is that even? I don't want to get stuck on that one sound, but... like a little... There's a lot of stuff going on there, and I'm enjoying it. Thanks to everybody tuning in. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me on stream. It's so much fun. Have people hang out while I do this fucking weird shit. You know, it's just a lot of fun, man. I just really have so much fun doing this. First thing, I want to see, you know, if I can change this. I can do a better bass. that sounds cool. Like, I'm really into that. Let's go back to, we can now we freed up our micro freak. Now we just like, that's like what do I, it's like, there's, what room do I even have in the mix to do, to like add anything, you know? I'd be like, I like feel compelled to add something because I have the sense to do it, but it's like, if I don't need it, what do I do, right? Thinking in terms of like a big blah. Like, yeah, like a sound effect or like. I mean, that one's kind of cool too. It's like, it's this kind of stuff where I'm like, I would just need to tick through and do this to figure it out, you know? It's like the sequence. It's the sequence. Never mind. Is that going to get lost? I don't know. That's cool. right, that's cool. Yeah, that sounds cool. Let me do another thing here. I feel like I was enjoying the filter on that like thing from before. Yeah, let's filter that. That sounds really cool. Like, that's a lot of it. That's most of a track. The rest of it is just, you know, arranging and embellishing and you know, maybe I have one more synth here that I can use. I have my S1 that's just sitting here. I haven't used it this entire time. Let's turn it up. Let's give it some love. S1 always sounds so good. The question is, like, this, what does this need? What does this song even need anymore at this point? Low key, the best part of this track now is this like SFX lead thing. Like, that's awesome. What am I even gonna... maybe some sound effects stuff? Maybe I could just do some, like, sound effects, just like some ethereal... Not that. This is something I should use at some point. This is just techno stab heaven. Let me clear whatever notes are here. And this one's not gonna work. Let's keep trying. Maybe just like a one little. There's a lot happening there, and I'm getting close to. I may already be overdoing it. There's so... I think it's good. I think it's good. There's so much. Like, I feel like I have so much... I can just mute these layers. Okay, let's switch cameras. I can mute these layers here and sort of perform them. What is that? We gotta clear those notes there. Whatever's going on with this LFO in here, I gotta switch here, because I don't want the LFO effect on this guy. cannot help but make things very melodic. It seems like as much as I want to pare things down, it ends up just being. Let's change that. Let's change this. So, first, thanks for watching. Thank you so much for watching, commenting, talking, chatting. I don't do a good job of chatting back, but I try to respond as I'm doing this. I really love how this all came together. And I love what I'm doing here specifically is I'm just kind of jamming. And this is the thing that you can do DAWless that you sort of can't do in a DAW. Unless you have things hooked up in a MIDI way very, intricately, which you can do. You can map MIDI devices and do the same thing in a DAW. I'm not saying you can't do this in a DAW, but you get the immediacy of this very easily with DAWless. You get the tactile response to everything you're doing. I get to turn the knobs. I get to play with the arrangement in real time in a way that is just much easier than doing it in a DAW. And I love how everything turned out. I love how this song turned out. I feel like this is exactly the kind of thing that I like to create, and this is why it was what more or less what I was going for. It's more melodic than I ended up initially. I mean, this always happens to me. Like, yeah, it's cool. It's more melodic than I had originally intended, but I think it's cool. I really like how it sounds. It's really kind of dubby. It has a lot of reverb, and I like just playing with the arrangement, fading things in and out, and bringing in different parts and seeing what works where, what works together, what I should play at the same time, what I should not play at the same time. This is all stuff you can just flow with freely when you're doing Dawless and you have the setup the way I've got it. And it's just a lot of fun, and I think the result speaks for itself, really. I like this techno track. I don't know what else to say, folks. Maybe I'll play it one more time, do another like 10-minute jam or so, and then I'm going to call it quits, I think, because now I'm really getting hungry. I can't make the pizza now. I don't feel like making the pizza now. I want to make it after, so... Let me gather my thoughts here. There it is without drums, right? I like how they contrast. I like how the melody contrast. I mean, the thing I like about techno in general is the way the melodies contrast with a hard-hitting percussion, and having that sort of delicate, higher in the range, higher in the arrangement kind of sounds play off of these really hard, aggressive drums, and doing that right is what makes a good techno track. the one last thing I want to play with is if I make the arpeggiator just sounds too pleasant. I know that's a strange criticism, but I really like that's just too cute. Like I just want this to be more interesting. That's all.